We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
This is episode 138.
Got that straight?
Is it?
Yeah, 138.
138,
Yeah.
Yes.
The people listening know before you do. I always think that's funny because we want to get that in. And literally, if they're listening to it, it's on their screen of their phone. It says episode 138.
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, I guess it was, I knew it was in the 130s, but anyways. So, theaters are supposed to be opening pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that suck for Disney?
I heard like on the 28th or 29th or something like that, they're supposed to be coming open up.
You know they had that movie Mulan?
Yeah.
And at first, when this whole Corona thing first happened, they were like, they were going to put it straight to Disney Plus. And then they were like, no, we're going to wait, because I guess it was like a huge...
Yeah, because they're like, we're going to make money off of it.
Because it's a big thing. It's going to be a big movie, you know? Yeah. I want to see it. If that's a... You know, and I hate Chinese people. You know, just imagine people that don't hate them.
I fired one during Corona.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Exactly.
No.
But, but then, just a few weeks ago, maybe last week, I heard that they were putting it on Disney Plus, which made me think theaters weren't coming back anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Or it's just they don't think there's going to be a big turnout for kids.
Maybe they were like, it's kind of bad to talk about a Chinese person that kills.
Yeah, the first movie that everyone's able to watch.
It's about China killing things.
Back when all this stuff happened, it said, like, coming soon. There was, like, posters of the theaters. I think here in our hometown, there's actually still a poster that says Mulan, and it's, like, coming soon.
I think it was gonna, because just for the listeners, we live in a tiny town.
I think Mulan showed up in February after she had a bat.
Yeah.
However they got it, you know.
It was bats.
Right?
We all saw the video that...
They all went batshit for bat soup.
As far as I can tell, the lady I saw eating the bat thing was the same one that plays Mulan.
Yeah, it might be.
And the same one that does everything else I've ever seen a Chinese woman do. But it is really weirdly... I never even put that together. It's weirdly bad timing for the big movie coming out to be about Chinese people or whatever.
Yeah.
They should have built their wall taller.
But did you build a wall?
Yeah. We were...
Trump's like, yep.
I think it was soon to come out in our theater, right? When the Corona hit?
Yeah, it was supposed to, yeah.
Because
It was supposed to come out everywhere, but, like, they were advertising for it.
Yeah, they're not going to release it just at our... It's like... It's exclusive.
People come from all over.
Yeah.
Right? People come from China to come see it here.
You look down the road, it looks like at the end of Field of Dreams. If you play it, they will come. All right, dude. I gotta... Have you seen the controversy about the troll toy?
No. Oh, a toy. No.
You're gonna love this.
The cartoon troll.
Yeah, the one that your kids like.
Like, Justin Timberlake is in the movie.
I guess. Maybe that's the controversy.
Okay. No,
so... Apparently, this lady put this thing on Facebook where she was at the store buying one for her kid. And she was like, look at this, look at this. You know how there's always... It's a white woman thing. Where they have a video where it's like, this is bad, and I'm showing the world that it's bad. You know that kind of
Does the troll have like a dick or something?
Better.
What?
What's better than a dick?
Vagina?
Yes.
A troll has a vagina?
Well, here's what it is. If you squeeze...
You're like, well, how do they mate?
Yeah, exactly. How else are you going to fuck them? Wow. If you squeeze the troll's, like, chest or hand or something, it's like sings or something like that. But if you mash down on its pussy... It, like, moans.
No way.
I'm not making this... I couldn't make this up.
No way.
This lady shows it.
Show it?
Yes, this lady, she's in, like, Walmart, and she's like, you have to see this. This is... I can't believe this. And she... So there's, like, a little hole cut out in the plastic where you can push the chest, right? Like they have on the toys. She, like, reaches her hand down into it, which makes me wonder, how'd you figure this out?
Yeah, no.
Were you trying to finger a troll doll?
Yeah.
And then now you're upset that it moaned?
She sticks her finger in her mouth. Yeah. She gets it wet, and then she starts.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she's got two in the pink, one in the stink, and then she has the audacity to tell us how she can't believe the troll company made this.
She lifted its little dress.
Yeah. Her problem isn't that it does that. She doesn't like that it likes it.
Dude, does the troll have, like, that bright hair down there? It's got bright pubes.
It's got bright pubes that just stick straight out.
It's all, like, coarse.
Well, the original, when I was a kid, when trolls...
It moans?
It moans, yeah. But when trolls first came out, when I was a kid, they had, like, buttholes. You stick them on the end of your pencil. They just took it a step further. She shows in the video, she gets her fingers in there. It's kind of hot. I'm not going to lie. I was a little turned on watching her finger a troll because she was hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't beat off, but it was like a level below I could have. I probably could have.
What
if this would have happened when I was quarantined for almost a month, I would have been jerking off to this video. I'll just come out and say that. But yeah, she pushes on the pussy, like she gets her finger in there, her middle finger, because it's like a natural, like if somebody smokes, they'll naturally like pick up a cigarette the way you hold a cigarette. Even if they're not smoking it, they're just like holding it in an hand to you. So she naturally like got down with her middle finger and like did little circular motions. And it's like, all right, have you fingered somebody that's 18 inches tall before? This is weird. But
is that tall of a?
It's like a teddy bear size.
I'm thinking like the old troll dolls that are like 4 inches.
No.
I'm like, God, how do
They can't get speakers in them.
So it's got this huge doll.
I'm not sure if. So my first thought is that it was, maybe it's like that's supposed to be in a different part of the doll, and it like migrated down, or it fell.
The moaning part? Well, where else should that be?
It's not moaning.
Does she have a foot fetish?
It's not moaning like.
It's a girl doll, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, it's like Sprinkles
the
or
girl
I don't know
one.
their names.
It's the girl one?
Yeah, it's a girl. Yeah, of course.
No,
boys don't have.
It's the one that I think it's like Anna Kendrick or something like that is the one that plays the main one.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's not important. But what I'm saying is that's what I first thought. But then a bunch of people were saying I went and tested them too. So the person making them, put the little sensor in the pussy.
This one guy's like, all dolls moan when I rub them, right? It's in his head, right? He does that to all of his dolls.
But
he's a plastic surgeon.
But she didn't. She rubbed it. It didn't like moan. It was more like a oh.
What?
That's the kind of sounds it makes. Yeah.
I guess that's what trolls make, right?
Yeah, when you rub their pussy. I don't know. But I just thought it was weird because I was like, did she just get this doll and check out its pussy? Like, did she check the pussy of every doll she gets for her kid? Making sure it doesn't have sensor. See, I wouldn't even care. And then, because I was like, yeah, who cares? It's kind of weird, but I mean, your kid. But then people were like, well, they do stuff. Kids have stuff like that, and it normalizes being touched there. Like, so if you have a doll and you touch it there, and the doll reacts positively, then maybe like if your fucking babysitter touches you there, you think, oh, well, my troll doll does. So I get that. I get why you wouldn't want your kid having that doll. Okay, but it's pretty funny.
Now they'd be like, come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I can't wait to see the boy troll doll.
Oh, yeah.
The mom's like, look, when you put this part of the doll in your mouth...
Yeah. Look, this doll connects with the other doll.
Yeah, it shoots a load of glitter.
Yeah. You're like, now it's little dolls.
Yeah. The little trolls that go on your pencil. But I thought that was... Because you used to see... Remember, what's the movie?
When did this come out?
I just saw it like a week or so
ago.
How
do I not know anything?
I don't know how big of a deal this was because I happened to see it and then I looked into it.
To me, this is bigger than the Beirut explosion, right? Because, I mean, it almost was one. It was probably made in Beirut. That's probably how it happened.
It's probably
when the speakers blew up.
Well,
right?
Somebody's in there fingering dolls all day, not paying attention to pushing the buttons or whatever. I don't know how the thing blew up. I assume somebody didn't.
Somebody was messing with his bottle rocket.
But it was. You remember
lighting some Roman candles.
Yeah, and this mom was letting her fingers roam all over the.
Wow.
Yeah, it was terrible. So anyway. Remember when we were kids, it was always like cartoons would have, remember like The Little Mermaid, The Preacher Has a Boner, and The Lion King.
Disney always did shit like that.
Yeah, The Lion King, it said sex.
Now they're like, we're going 3D. Right?
It's like, okay, look, no
4D,
kid,
I guess.
No kid that was the age.
Everything's live action now with Disney.
I want to see, I bet Milan gets like bent over and fucked in the movie or something.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't blink or you'll miss it, but it happens. Some guy with a tiny dick, it's all blurry. It's not even that big of a deal. She's still a virgin when it's over. But
shit.
But it used so they show like The Little Mermaid, the preacher has a boner. But nobody that's watching that's the age that it's made for would ever notice it. You have to like pause it and go back and forth, and then you're like, maybe he had a boner.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different than like.
And you're really excited when you see that he does.
I remember being excited seeing that he had a boner for sure, and I don't know if that's because
I remember being a kid, and I probably wouldn't even know what that was, and y'all were like, look, and like we're pausing, and I'm like, what's on here? Like,
I think he also said something about teenagers should have sex or something.
On that?
I think it's the same movie. It's like all teenagers should have sex. It's something like that.
What the fuck?
And it's like look, you're like corporate. What's it called? Not standards and practices, but like the people that check, like they're the last one to look and make sure nothing's wrong in a process. Yeah, like editor, but there's a name for it in corporations. Anyway, that guy was really fucking like dropping the ball in the 80s.
Or it was him, right?
Yeah, well, because there was something with the Jungle Book too. I don't remember what it was. It's like, but anyway,
they had different necessities.
So yeah, it was the bare necessities. It was just like
Bare, B-A-R-E.
Yeah.
Right?
So what I'm saying is, when people are so I have a reason for bringing all those old stories up. People are freaking out. And they're like, I can't believe this. What is the world coming to?
So they're going in the comments and they're trolling.
Yes, yes. So, but they're saying, I can't believe the world's coming to, and this is the sick generation and all, or whatever. And it's like, no, this shit's always. Dude, I guarantee you, if you were to go back in the 1800s, there were people like just jerking off in front of your kids in school, and nobody said anything. And then it eased into the Little Mermaid's got a boner, and then now it's eased into you can finger a fucking troll doll. You know, by the time our kids...
You could probably go buy one somewhere on the internet, like one you can actually finger.
Well, you can finger...
It's Disney brand.
Is Trolls Disney?
I don't know. It's one.
Whatever it is. It's a cartoon.
Disney owns everything.
It's a very, very kid-centric cartoon. It's not even good. You know how some of the cartoons are like, they're not bad to watch? Trolls it's a rough one.
Yeah, I didn't watch the second one. My wife and my kids did. But
yeah, I didn't know there was a second one. I guess it makes sense. That's why
I think we recorded.
I can tell you this:
when they watched it,
when the Milan toy comes out, I might get it. It don't look bad. I saw the previews. I know I said they all look alike, and they do.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. They're all hot.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if I want to go, I guess it's too late now. I was going to tell you we need to go to like a Walmart or something like that and finger some troll dolls and see if it works. Yeah. But I'm sure they've been pulled off the shelves. I just want to hear.
Pulled off?
Yeah. I'll be pulling off my shelf. It sucks though too, because even if you're a fucking weirdo that would want to fuck a stuffed animal, the trolls don't look human enough. You're better off just fucking a bear, really. You know, they look like monsters or something. So it wouldn't even be fun to finger that toy.
On this, they make them like girly though, to where like they're not monsters.
Well, it's clearly a girl.
Normally, like in the old,
real clearly,
trolls and stuff are like nasty. They're bad, you know. Unless they're like nice trolls.
Yeah, but in the 90s that happened. They started making those. They got real popular with those things you put on your pencil. There was always some dork that had one sitting on his desk, and he's like, "This is my troll." And it's like, I would always knock it off the desk. It's a stupid thing to have. You know what I mean? I don't judge. I mean, I do judge. But there's some things it's like, you only have that because it's like hip right now, and I want to let you know that you're a loser. Yeah. I think it's very important. They try to take bullying away, and I know we talked about this a while back, but I think bullying is very important because you need to know.
You need to know that you're a loser.
Yes. Everybody is, though. Every single person's a loser. And when you're in school and somebody's like, you know, whatever, make fun of the way you wear your hat or your hair or your shirt or something, it lets you know. Now, you can keep doing that. You can be a strong person and keep doing it. But it's good to have a bully to knock your troll doll off your desk so you can, like, reset and be like, wait, trolls are kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. My kids started school today. Both of our kids did. And it would break my heart if he got, like, seriously bullied.
If someone knocks his troll doll off.
Yeah, there's no way I would let him take a troll doll to school. Do you do that? Do you like try to protect your kids cool-wise?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, like you're saying though, they do kind of need to know they're nerds.
It's very important. At some point. Right now, my son's in kindergarten. He's 5 and whatever. But at a point, it's going to be important for him to face the adversity of somebody doing whatever, tripping him, knocking his books out of his hand. Now, how do you react to that? Do you cry and run off? Do you shoot up the school? Do you get revenge? Do you laugh it off?
There's so many options.
There are a lot of options. So my option at a certain age would have been somebody knocked
the school.
Well, yeah. Dude, I'm from the fucking Columbine generation. Yeah. I'm their age. So when they did that, I was like, oh yeah. Now it's not just either fight, laugh about it. You know, it's like there is a new option. Yeah. But I think I don't want my kid to get bullied. Like, he got a little bit bullied one time in pre-K, and it made me furious. But I understand.
So you shot up that school, right? It's just kids laying everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
But
it's like Star Wars Episode 3. Right?
I do with a lightsaber.
It'll hurt a lot worse because it's plastic.
You can beat a kid to death. A 5-year-old I could beat to death with a fake lightsaber.
Yeah,
easy.
Just think a real one though.
But so do you do that though? Do you ever like your son's like, all right, I'm ready for school? You're like, hold on, don't wear that pink shirt that's polka dotted. Are you like that?
You know what's fucking crazy? My daughter actually last night came and showed me what she was wearing today for school, and it was a troll shirt. And she ended up not wearing it.
That's good.
It was like glittery and all that, and had like that pink and green.
Yeah, I don't let her wear troll shirts until this story blows over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want your son going to school when he's like 13 wearing Little Mermaid shorts for more than one reason.
Yeah.
But have you ever had to do that? Because your son's a little older. He's in what, 3rd grade?
No, he kind of like knows what looks good though. He has good style.
Maybe he's old enough to be cooler than you now. He might think you're dressing stupid.
Maybe. I don't know. He does like, we did buy him clothes recently that look like me. Right?
Is he wearing cargo shorts, Crocs, and a fishing shirt?
He has all that, yes.
But I think that's cool. If I see your son, when I see your son and he's dressed the way me or you dress, I'm always like, oh, he looks badass. But he may be getting mercilessly bullied at school. They're like, hey, Grandpa.
I don't think they're really at that point right now because kids, you know,
we bullied in 3rd grade.
No, but I don't think kids nowadays are that bad though.
You want to tell you something that's gonna...
A lot of kids like the acceptance and like friends.
You mean they're not as ruthless?
Yeah,
dude, they spend like 6 months out of the year at school teaching non-bullying. Mm-hmm. Like I remember when
after Christmas they're like, all right, so open up your math books. The whole first semester was like, well, dude, everyone's all right. Like, no more hitting each other, right? They're like, all right, now take out your math books. They're like, ugh.
As soon as they get to the 2nd semester, you just hear underwear ripping from wedgies. But when my stepdaughter was in school, she just graduated a few years ago, and when she was in like early high school, I guess I went there for something, and I remember seeing like signs on the wall, and it's like we're a no bully zone, and I was like, dude, if I went to that school, I would bully more because it's fun to bully and it's fun to be doing something you're not supposed to.
I remember when I went to high school a few years ago.
A few decades ago.
It's like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, when I went to school, there was this like, it's like, all right, everybody, we're going to have like this thing in the auditorium. Everybody go. The whole high school went. Mm-hmm. And there was this like, people got up there and like talking about don't bullying. And they had like a little like gay name for it. Like there was, I don't know, it was some kind of name.
If you didn't make fun of it, I'm ending this show.
They came to my school too.
If you didn't make fun of it at the program, I'm ending this show.
I bullied a lot during high school. So, but in like a, well, you know, it's joking kind of way.
Well, yeah, I was never a mean-spirited person.
You know, like I had like a gun up against their head. Yeah. And they're like, I know he's joking. Yeah. Click. Oh, he does not.
But when you pull the trigger, right? Like little bang flag came out. That would be hilarious. You could get away with that. In my days of school, you could absolutely get away with that up until my senior year when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
You could absolutely have gotten, I don't know, maybe Columbine fucked it up. Up through junior high, you could have definitely got away with a toy gun. Everybody freaks out, and then it's like, bang. They would have probably been like, oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. You know, even the teachers.
Nowadays, there's fucking some teachers with guns. You might get shot before it even has a little bang thing come out.
Dude, you know, like I said, both of our kids started kindergarten today, and that school was like built to be like a fortress.
Yes.
The whole point of that school, teaching, like learning is secondary to not getting shot. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah, the first 6 months they do gun control.
My son, I'm like, what'd you learn today? He shows me how to like take a gun and turn it on the other guy.
Him and my daughter are sitting there timing each other on who can clean a gun faster.
You're like, what'd you learn today? And she's like, she goes and like hides under the floorboards or something.
She's crawling their barbed wire while he's shooting over her head.
She's like, they use live rounds, Dad.
Oh shit.
She's like, Johnny stood up. Recess was rough today. We lost another one. But it is that. We're barely exaggerating.
Yeah.
School is...
They go up and they ring a little bell. That means they quit. It's like SEAL training or whatever.
My son and your daughter are carrying a log on their shoulder.
They can't reach the bell. Someone's got to pick them up.
What's sadder than that? A kid that can't hack it trying to tap out and can't.
Oh, shit. They didn't have Navy SEAL training for kindergartners.
They basically do. They're teaching them how to kill, too.
It is like a fortress, though. I mean,
it's
all like...
specifically
It's all
made.
like...
When me and you took our kids in today, that's the only way in the school.
Oh, yeah.
So if it burns down, our kids are just burnt cookies. Like, there's only one exit. It's all crowded. I teach Colin all the time.
It was hard just for like 20 people to get in there pretty quick.
I know, exactly.
Think of hundreds of kids.
I teach
They're
Colin.
smaller. I mean, you can squeeze them.
Yeah. You find the kids you like and throw them through a window. But I've taught Colin since he was little, my son, is that, because he's like all into like military stuff. He wants to be in the Army. But right before we did this, before we went to bed, he was stretching, doing push-ups, lifting weights, and doing up-down. Like, he's that kid. You know what I mean? It's retarded, I guess. But I have taught him all the time. I'm like, there's sometimes bad people do bad things, and you stay away from bad people. And it's like I slowly worked it into... Basically, I'm not going to tell him somebody might shoot your school up, even though they might. But basically, it comes down to, like, I'm trying to create a survivor out of him. There's going to be a school shooting one day, and if it's not him...
Somebody's going to have a gun. He's going to do that little, like, Tom Cruise thing where...
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. When I said, what did you learn today?
It's on him, yeah.
He grabs the gun and points it at the assailant. But, he's in there making shivs in the bathroom.
He takes, like, the top of it off. You know how they do that on movies? Right?
He takes the slide off and drops the clip out. And then hands it back to the bad guy.
It's ridiculous.
But your daughter, your sweet little daughter, anybody that saw her, all they would want to do is, like, squeeze your cheek or something, is, over the next several years, going to learn what to do in the case of an active shooter trying to kill her.
Because they go over that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Our sweet little kids.
They're like, all right, now take out your math books. Right? That's what it is.
They're just shaking.
Right? First period every day, right? You know what I mean? They're just like, for 45 minutes or whatever, however they do.
I would think it'd be better if
they're like, all right, everybody, want to take a nap? Right?
Could you leave the door cracked? No, we can't, because somebody might come in with an SKS and mow y'all down.
they talk about all that, and then at snack time, this guy's open up his bag of chips and it pops. Right? Everybody jumps. One kid grabs his gun. Right?
I was imagining when you said it's snack time, they're all opening MREs. They're just battle hardened. My son's sitting there eating his little fruit chews, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of the side. He's got that death stare in his eyes because he's been through a week of school.
They're always learning to ride around like sandbags and stuff, right? Oh, they're in the trenches.
I'm like, what did you learn today, buddy? And it's like, to a gunshot wound, hold pressure.
Yeah.
But
he's in the yard, he gets a scratch, he's like, medic! Oh.
But it isn't, it's sad enough that our kids are like wearing masks and they just are okay with it. It's like normal. Oh yeah, the virus.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the other day, but it breaks my heart that my 5-year-old and your 5-year-old, or is she 6? I don't know.
Soon.
Yeah. So our little kids, they're basically still toddlers, but they are so aware that there's a virus that's killing people that it isn't even a big deal to them.
No.
That cannot be good long term for their psyche. Between the going to school and like dodging bullets, and even today all the parents were there dropping their kids off for the first day. All their little 5-year-olds, some of them look like babies, and they're wearing masks, and they know why they're wearing masks. That freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I hope he never gets bullied. Meanwhile, just the world is bullying him.
And it's like, so they're like key, like basic skills and learning from like seeing people's facial expressions.
Yeah.
They're not picking up on that now.
This is their first, my son was in like kind of like a preschool for a year, but this is their first real introduction to like being in social situations and learning how to like navigate that and forming their I'm fucked up. We talk about it all the time. My biggest, and this is like not even to be funny, one of my biggest fears in life is that my son will grow up and have the brain that I have all the issues I have mentally. And now he's going...
Like with surgery?
It would fit. He's got a big head.
They put it in there.
It's like Face
They're
Off.
cramming it, right?
It's like Face Off, but his brain off. He's Nicolas Cage.
That's ridiculous.
So, but that terrifies me that he's gonna, when he becomes a teenager, which is when it got real bad for me, that he's gonna have all the mental illness bullshit that I have. And now he's learning how to be social in these situations.
And they're training him how to use guns.
Yeah, and he's in there learning.
Right.
He's in there learning how to hide from an active shooter, while he's also, everybody's wearing masks and you can't see anybody's faces, and they're eating lunch in their classroom, and I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They're on the jungle gym and you got to like social distance. You know, it's like I remember.
They're on the swings. One has to be in the air. One has to be front.
It has to be all set.
And when they're passing each other, they have to turn.
On the seesaw, both have to be either up or down, both sides.
The teachers pushes, sprays her hand down, pushes.
That's probably pretty accurate. Like, that's barely exaggerated.
It's ridiculous, dude.
And then the teacher reminds them that being on the swing is the best place when a shooter comes, because, you know, you're moving.
They can't. Yeah, he's like shooting. He's like missing. He runs out of bullets. Right?
He doesn't know to line up straight with it.
He shoots the chain off. Right? But anyways.
But doesn't it? Do you remember hearing people say? So I had a stepdaughter for a long time, but my first kid, I was way up into my 30s already, like early 30s, whatever. You had kids fairly young, but I remember hearing people say before, they're like, I don't want to have kids because I wouldn't want to bring a kid into this crazy world. And I always thought that was such a dumb thing to say, because I was like, the world isn't any worse than it's better than it's ever been. It's great, whatever. Why would you say that? Now I finally understand what they mean. It saddens me that my kid's growing up in this world. He just wears them out. I'll say something like, oh yeah, they're not having that thing anymore where we're going to go to. He's like, oh, because of the virus? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, fuck, you can't, just be 5. You shouldn't have to worry about a pandemic or a shooter or...
Yeah.
I would almost rather, now this may be a crazy thought.
Probably so. Hey, you just said the virus or a shooter, and you're like, I would rather, right? So I'm wondering where this is going. Please finish.
I'm like, I would rather people get shot than have the flu.
That's where I
what I was going to say is, I would almost rather not take precaution against a shooter at a school and just hope it doesn't happen, and if it does, because first of all, who is generally the shooter at a school? A student, right? A student who every day is learning what to do if a shooter comes. He's like, he's shooting in the trash can, he's shooting under the desk. He knows.
That's why there's double agents.
Yeah, exactly.
They know how to get in, you know?
This Benedict Arnold motherfucker.
It was an inside job.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you always hear those things.
It's always an inside job.
Right? Why do the police have their own police? Right? There is.
I didn't think about that, but most school shootings are an inside job.
I remember a couple years ago, I mean, it was probably like 10 years ago when this stuff started really coming out.
The shooting?
And, yeah, I mean, like, no, shootings have been always happening.
I know, but
as long as there's schools and guns, there's been shootings in schools.
In America.
Right?
Other countries
why'd I get an F?
You know, in other countries, they're like, what do they mean by school shooting? Because it's like, they think it's like a language barrier.
They're like taking pictures?
Yeah.
Right?
They're like, no, guns in the school. They're like, but why would somebody shoot in a school? Like in America.
There's kids in schools.
Dude.
They're like, yeah, they're easier, they're harder targets. That's why it's more fun, I guess. Right?
Anybody, dude, they're not that hard. You put a lollipop in the end of your gun and they come to it, you know? But, anybody, all right, you remember when the little kindergartners got shot, right? At Newtown.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Never forget, or whatever. Okay, so
never forget.
I'm saying they say never forget when something bad happens. That was one of the worst things I think I've ever seen on the news. I think that's safe to say. 9/11.
This is the ones where they went and hid in the bathroom or something like that.
Yeah, they were little kids.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It's real horrible because I have kids that age. Back then, I was like, it's kind of funny. Like, it wasn't funny that they died, but it was just. Here's what I mean, because people are gonna misunderstand this. It's definitely not funny.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's not funny that the people died.
They've already stopped listening.
The idea of shooting kids that little.
The real listeners are still there.
Yeah, there's a few still there. The real listeners are like, this is what they've been waiting for. Yeah. But what I'm saying is the idea.
He turns it up. He tells his wife to shut the fuck up.
But the idea of shooting kids that little is so crazy that I don't know how to react to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I could cry about her, but that's just not my nature. So, my natural instinct when I first heard about it was like, what? Like, and I don't mean that like, oh, that's good. It was like, I cannot have seen that right. Like, 20-something 5-year-olds just got shot with an assault rifle. Like,
what did they do to him?
I mean, they were assholes.
He's like, existed.
They wiped a booger on him.
He was a substitute.
He was just some lunatic.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do something crazy, and he
substitute with a submachine gun.
He was the Tom Berenger substitute. Tom Berenger's a substitute for a kindergarten.
Yeah.
But
he's like, sniper, no sniping. Okay. Anyways, I was saying like 10 years ago or something, when like a lot of school shootings were happening, and everybody's like, we're gonna put guns in the schools. You know, they're like, we're gonna start strapping teachers down.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking like the bullets.
Yeah. The Rambo.
Yeah, the Rambo bullets.
The belt of bullets across their chest.
They got like a tarp. Like a teacher's wearing like a tarp that you write with a rope around it.
I imagine they had that strap of bullets across their chest like Pancho Villa, but it's got like a little cat and a little flower, little Christmas tree like teachers wear.
A kid's like running through the halls and like a little thing of spikes. Like,
he hits the string and you see the trap fly up like on Apocalypto. Yeah.
So, anyways, when I heard that teachers are gonna start having guns, I was like, hold on. You're gonna give teachers guns.
Yeah.
And they're like, train them to shoot and then put them in the school.
Yeah. Teacher.
I was like, so you want to put guns in the school?
Yeah. You know what this problem is? The problem is not enough guns in school.
Yeah, they're like, no, the teachers are going to have the guns, though. So in case someone shows up, they can act on it. I was like, yeah, until someone takes it from them.
Yes.
I mean, I was like,
me and you, we went to 2 different high schools, but we went to very small town high schools. And in my small town high school, there were instances where students beat up teachers pretty bad. I saw it happen like twice.
In junior high, I was in 7th grade, or I was in 6th or 7th grade. I know it was the 6th grade teacher, so I don't know if it was a year after I was with her. But
is this the vagina teacher?
Miss Espinosa, no.
Oh.
This was Miss Espinosa. Someone threw a student, a 6th grade teacher. A student. He was like 12.
Yeah.
I think you're like 12 in 6th grade.
Was he Hispanic?
Like
did he have a mustache?
I don't know what he was. He threw one of those little desk chair things together.
Yeah, it's like the desk chair combo.
Chair. He threw that at her and broke both her legs.
A fat guy's nightmare, one of those.
He threw both of those. He threw that and broke both her legs.
Exactly.
Like, if she had a gun, he would have taken it and shot her with it.
Or she would have shot him in the head for breaking her leg.
Yeah. I know. That's not why it's in there.
Completely
She'd be protecting herself against a student.
But it's completely understandable that she would shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
But I would rather there not be a gun there so she can't do that.
Yeah.
There's been times
there wasn't. Her legs grew back. Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not like a lizard. They like put them there.
When's the last time you saw her?
Huh?
Was she in one of those wheelchairs?
She's a little shorter now. Right?
Was she in one of those wheelchairs you have to have a straw to drive?
She looks like Hank Hill's dad. They just put her feet up to her knees.
So this is small town school.
Maybe that guy's name was Bobby.
Yeah. Damn it, Bobby. So this is a small town school.
Yeah.
Where a 12-year-old broke 2 of a teacher's legs.
Yeah. A same teacher, but both her legs.
Which is more impressive. No, I don't know. What's more impressive?
He threw it and happened to hit 2 different teachers' legs.
I'm saying
that would have been pretty good.
Whether it was in one fell swoop or not, what would be more impressive? To break one teacher, both of her legs, or to break a leg on each of the... I think to break one leg on 2 different teachers, because then it sends a message to all the other teachers that you might be next.
Yeah.
You start getting A's after you do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. The teacher's like grading your paper and you just lift your desk up a little.
Yeah.
And you give her a look. Yeah.
Right. But they change it from a minus to a plus. Right?
It's like, hey, Mom, look, I got an F plus.
Yeah.
So... I remember that, though, and me and you both were, like, kind of mad about it when they were like, we're going to give teachers guns. Because my first thought was, okay, I started streaming through my memory of all the teachers I have. Not one, what I want armed.
Yeah.
Teachers generally they're not the most stable. They're not even good at teaching, usually.
No.
You hear about it all the time, like, our education system sucks. I know what that means. Our education system is... people teaching.
Yeah.
If it sucks, that means the people aren't good at teaching.
You're only as good as your weakest link.
I don't think that applies.
Yeah. They're stupid teachers.
They're all...
They're stupid teachers. They're going to keep making stupid people.
So if a teacher has a hard time teaching you what...
I was going to be a teacher. It's a good thing I didn't.
I could have been a teacher.
Right? I'd have had a 6-shooter on my hip right now.
Oh, dude, if I was a teacher and they brought that up, I'd be like, bring it here. And then I would pistol whip a kid day one, probably. You know what I mean? He's like, he's just like talking in class. I'm like, could you please be quiet? And he says something like I would have said back then, like, how about you be quiet? I would just pistol whip him.
Yeah.
That would be day one. They're like, Jeremy, you have a gun.
Yeah, they just like hit him upside the head with it, right?
Yeah, they're like, Jeremy, we're giving you the gun. You have a lot of experience with firearms. You're, you seem like a smart guy. Day one, I would probably pistol whip a kid. I just would. So, but teachers, I can't think of a teacher I had that I would trust with a gun.
You're like, you gotta ask yourself. Do you feel lucky?
But think about
the bell rings. Right?
Think about this. Our cousin's wife is a teacher. You know who I'm talking about, right? Our cousin's wife.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Imagine her armed. She comes across as like, look, this isn't anything bad about her, but she comes across a little unhinged. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's apparently a good teacher from all I've heard. Well, good compared to other teachers, you know?
She's like, what? A green apple? Throws it up and shoots it?
Yeah. They're like, Mrs. K, the hole punch is jammed up again.
Hold it up.
Don't worry, I got it.
She's like, do your ABCs. She's shooting them as she's going. Right?
I imagine the teacher you know how sometimes you would see, I know you did this. You had teachers you fucked with, right? Mm-hmm. Like your job was to make them hate their life.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes by the end of like a school year, they would just have that dead look in their eyes because you've just fucked. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would imagine when they have guns, I always imagine that they're sitting on a chair slumped down like this,
and they got it pointing at you.
No, and they're like,
right?
No,
and they're just like, if only. Right?
No, they're sitting there and they're like 7.62 Full Metal Jacket. You know, like like on Full Metal. I always imagine that when they said they were gonna give them guns.
On the toilet.
Yeah, I always imagine that when they said they're gonna give them guns because every teacher.
I thought you meant like under the desk they're pointing at me.
They got it on the little swivel.
Yeah, it's attached. Right?
They got one hidden behind the flusher in the bathroom.
Wow.
But that was my first thought when they said they were going to arm teachers. Mm-hmm. And is that they all, and I'm not even exaggerating for like comedic effect. I can't think of a teacher that didn't seem a little unhinged. Mm-hmm. They all did. The new ones were always, okay, but then, they fuck students. You don't ain't fucking somebody that's armed.
Pre-K to 12 gauge.
K through 12 gauge.
Oh, shit.
But, anyway, but no. So you brought that up. Has your opinion on that changed now that you have kids in school or no?
No.
Because
I don't think there should be guns in there.
Here's my thought.
It's Nerf or nothing.
They should give them Nerf guns. My son's got a Nerf gun.
Some guy's running in, they're like, they don't even sting. It's just more annoying.
Dude.
Right? He's like, shut up.
My son has one. It's like a bolt-action single shot that I guarantee you, if you had a gun and somebody shot you right in the face with one of those, it would at least disorient you a little while until somebody tackles you. I think it's Nerf.
Let's say a guy comes in, he's got a gun, right? And they're like, all right, class, what do we do in this situation? Right? And then little Jimmy, right? He raises his hand.
He's got his hand sitting on his head because he's tired from raising it. Oh, shit. But
someone's like, I need to go to the bathroom. They're like, not right now.
So you still, because do you have because you've had a kid in school for years now, your older one, do you have it, is it ever like a point of anxiety for you thinking about a possibility of a school shooting?
No.
Like it never even crosses your mind? No. See, for me it probably will. I mean, it already has a little bit because I have anxiety issues, but it would never affect. It would never, I would never say, I would rather him be homeschooled because of it. But it definitely crosses my mind, and it sticks in my mind a little bit sometimes. Because it would be awful. I mean, that would be the end of my life. I would just off myself.
It's just, unlikely. You know
but do you ever have,
it's like you could get struck by lightning. I'm not sitting there not, losing sleep. And tomorrow when I walk outside, I might get struck by lightning.
And you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than most because you've tempted the gods a few times with lightning rods. But yeah, I don't think about it. I don't, let it cloud my judgment or anything. But I always just think, if that... I have these, fantasies where I'm like, in my head, if I start thinking about it, I'm like, but
Kids
then
dying?
No, but then he saves the day.
Oh.
You know, he tackles the guy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because I have, like, ego, it's
That
like...
your son does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. If the day is going to get saved, I want him to save it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as long as he escapes, I don't care if the
Comes
whole
home, he's like,
school
look what they gave me. It's a big key.
yeah. Yeah, oddly enough, if they had used keys correctly, the guy couldn't have got in.
Yeah.
But I always think that, though. I'm like, and then he saves the day, but then it's all about me in the end. And he's just like on the news, and he's like, well, my dad taught me how to fight and how to throw punches. You know what I mean? It all comes back to, I want kids to die, so I get, like,
You're sitting there, like,
glory.
daydreaming, and they're like, Jeremy, right? And then it's your boss,
Yeah.
right? He's like, Jeremy, right?
get back to work and get your dick out of your hand.
Quit playing with that troll doll.
I'm at work finger blasting a troll ball. You got to admit.
While you're imagining people chanting your name, right? You're like, what scenario are people chanting
I've
your
never
name?
been cheered on while finger blasting. The only time it could even have possibly happened in my life is
Yeah.
at a pep rally, maybe. You're finger blasting a chick in the
They're
band.
chanting your name?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. No, they would never
Right.
chant my name.
No.
But I'm just saying, let's give me hope. When I was a kid, I used
You're
to
like,
have...
the chick kind of looked like a troll.
I wish.
Oh.
When I was a kid, when I was in my, like, early jerking off days, right? 12-ish, 13. I used to would try to think about sex stuff. You know, I didn't know hardly anything about sex. We didn't have, like, the internet or nothing. But I'm trying to think about... But in my mind, it would never work unless it was realistic. Which is funny because me having sex at 12 wasn't realistic at all, unless some janitor raped me or something. You know, that was the only sex I was going to be having. But it would always... So there was this girl that I liked that rode on the bus with us, right? And I remember I'd be on the bus and I'd be like, just in my head, not jerking off or anything, but just thinking about like a scenario where me and her could fuck. And it would always have to be like, so me and her are the only two on the bus, which was the case early in the morning. And then the bus breaks down and the bus driver has to walk to get, that's how detailed it had to be.
God.
So then we are.
She's like, Jeremy, you're talking out loud.
She's like, you're creeping me the fuck out.
Every time the bus like hits a bump, she's scared. She's like hoping like a flat.
We stop at a stop sign and she's just like.
She goes and checks the tire pressure.
She gets it down and drive off at school at 4 in the morning so she can do a pre-trip on the bus. She's like, what are you using this? 10W30? It would be her nightmare. It would be my nightmare for those crazy thoughts of my 13-year-old brain. I get older every time I tell it. Eventually, it's like yesterday. But it would be
tomorrow. I'm going to tell this girl.
It would be a nightmare for me to be accidentally saying that out loud, which is something that only happens on movies. But that's how it was for me. It had to be realistic. So now, the reason I said that is, well, I have like these little like brain fantasies about like, well, I don't want anything bad to happen, but if it does, I hope my son's the hero. He can't even be the hero like he picks up a fucking minigun and mows down the bad guys. It has to be like, well, he does practice martial arts, so maybe he like does a sidekick. And you know, it's like it has to be real because if
it goes to a point where there's like these shooters walking through the schools, and he's up in like the air ducts. Right?
He's got a real dirty white beater on. He's got a pistol taped to his back.
His shoes are off because he was taking a nap. Right? He's been running through glass. At the end, he ends up like throwing the guy off the top of the building.
Of course he does. A helicopter crashes into the school, it blows up.
And then 2 years later, that guy's brother comes back.
See, my fantasies have to be realistic, and that can't be realistic because he wouldn't be at school at Christmas.
Yeah.
So that can't be the case.
Yeah. Right before Christmas break.
I am going to start teaching him about crawling through air ducts, though.
Yeah.
That's something that I wish I could do because I've seen.
That's what they taught. You know what I mean? You know, they're like, see, take these little bolts off.
Yeah.
It comes down. You climb through there.
Yeah, you climb through there. First thing you want to do is find their supply of guns.
Yeah.
So that you can get one. And then you have to, yeah.
Do they have an elevator at the school? I think they do.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been farther in it than you saw me today.
I think they do.
It's barely inside the door, and I was getting looks then. You ever feel like you don't belong? Did you look around at the parents when they were chopping off?
Yeah.
I remember that I was over there making fun of the teacher and stuff.
Yeah, I've been going to the schools for a long time.
But all the parents were like, they seemed like, none of them are doing this. That's what
I know a lot of them.
None of them are doing this. None of them are making jokes about school shootings right now.
No.
With their brother and broadcasting it to whoever wants to listen.
Maybe they are.
There is no possible way.
None of these. There's somebody that's...
Well, obviously, there's like comedy podcasts out there done by people who are parents.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, when I go like do stuff with my kid, and there's other, 5-year-old parents,
God damn.
the troll dog got knocked out. But when I see them, I barely even try to talk to them. My son has a friend, a little girl that he's been friends with for a long time, and her dad is always like real polite to me, and I'm always awkward and I don't know what to say because my instinct will be to fuck around. Yeah. And I felt that today, like hardcore. When I was in the school, I was like, I don't belong here. I don't, But I have to try to be as normal as I can because I don't want my son to grow up fucked up like I am. Yeah. Like I said, your daughter is too late for her. You better hope she gets ugly, dude. If not, she's going to be a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
But your son, the jury's still out on him. He's weird as shit, but I think that's a good thing. But let's just hope they don't get shot.
I really hope not, yeah.
You ever think about that?
I'm going to lose sleep thinking that there might be a shooter tomorrow.
Dude, I'm
going to be like, my son is chasing him down.
Your son would be a good one for the air ducts because
he's skinny.
He's very skinny and he's old enough to be like my son's 5. You know what I mean? He get in the air ducts and he'll be up there playing his Game Boy or something. Like he can't focus for very long.
Yeah.
Your kid's old enough and skinny enough. He may be the perfect John McClane. They may be training him for that now. He's in recess running on the little pea gravel with no shoes on. They're like, "Come on, Alex, do it. Shoot the glass."
What?
That's what they say.
Oh,
that wasn't a good.
Oh, because he's running and then they want. Yeah.
They just shoot glass.
Like he's gonna ow, 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 ow. Like he's gonna do that.
His adrenaline's so pumped up in that movie.
Yeah.
There's no way he would even notice his feet hurt until it's over. He would just be like, I mean, there's just no way. He's trying I've been in situations where my adrenaline gets pumped up for a little while, and I scrape my arm real bad and don't even care.
You think there's going to be a movie that comes out where people are wearing masks in it?
Well, that's the thing. Have you watched... Well, I know you have. When you watch movies and you see things that you would never do today because of COVID, does it, weird you out?
It is weird because
do you notice people kissing and holding hands and shit?
Yes. And there's, just people, in groups. Like, we were watching something the other day. It's a movie that just came out. My wife was watching this Kissing Booth movie or whatever.
That sounds awful.
And I was thinking
kissing booths are over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, all right. I remember pausing at the beginning. And I was like, look, are they gonna have one at the end? I was like, because I know this movie was probably recorded somewhere, before, but it was probably finishing during all this stuff. So I was thinking, at the end of this movie, there's gonna be a kissing booth, and random people just go up and kiss other random people.
If you had stock in kissing booths,
that's straight up not anything. Yeah.
If you had stock in kissing booths,
it's booth-eye.
It comes from the Latin bootha. But if you had that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
What about
a lot of things?
Dude, I was watching a show last night. The show Community. You should watch it. It's awesome. But anyway, it's I think it started 10 years ago, and there was 2 different scenes and 2 different episodes I saw. They share a drink, or one takes a bite from a chicken strip, and it's like, oh, this is good, and the other one takes a bite, and it blows my mind because we're so programmed in the last several months. It's I can't believe you would share a drink with somebody. I mean,
we saw something. We were watching I think it was that same movie, but it was they're at a school. And there's
what, y'all just watch Kissing Booth every day?
No, it was the same. I'm just it was what was making me think of it is because they're at a school and there's just people everywhere
bumping into each other.
And they're not wearing masks or nothing. So it's I wonder how if there's going to end up being a movie coming out where it's the people in it are wearing masks and they're not even talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did.
They're just sitting there and they're just wearing masks and they're so anyways, it's gonna be horrible.
When you go in a store now, you're not I remember at first. Remember we talked about it. I was the first time I went to, because our town didn't care about the masks for the longest time, and I went to the bigger town nearby, and I told you I was dude, it's like ninjas. I was everybody had masks over their face. It was crazy. This was a few months ago.
Yeah.
Now
Before it was a legal you had to. Do.
Yeah. Even in our town, dude. Nobody's doing it.
Oh, I don't at the post office.
Dude, the store that I go to all the time, just down from here, there's a big sign on the window, on the door, and it says mask must be worn at all times. I don't think I've seen somebody with a mask on in it yet.
Yeah.
And there's a big thing. It's like
I went to
corporate, whatever.
Napa, and the workers, the owner, no customers. I wore it, and when I saw no one else did, I ripped that.
I know, because you don't want to be the guy with a
fuck all
mask.
that. Yeah, they're like, "Cause he got it." You know, because that's what I used to think at first when people were wearing masks.
Dude, when I had it,
they're either a big fucking dork because they think they're gonna get it, or they have it.
When I had Corona, I went somewhere like once or twice.
You like coughed in the envelopes and mailed them everywhere. It's like anthrax. Like people are opening it up, right?
I went into buildings and flicked my boogers into the ventilation. But
you kept sniffing pepper.
I was doing lines of pepper like it was Coke, just sneezing all over the world. But I did all that. But also, I had to go somewhere one time, and so I put on my mask, and I felt like they knew. Yeah. Because like I said, in our town, there was a period for a couple of weeks.
It's like on that movie, They Live. They all know you're bad.
Yeah, exactly.
They have glasses.
They all have the glasses on, and I'm just
they look at you, and you're like, you got like yellow all over your nose or something.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah.
But I had, I had Corona sweat dripping off of me. Mm-hmm. There was a point in my quarantine, because I was quarantined, like I said, for nearly 3 weeks. It's like 2.5 weeks total.
Yeah, but it seemed like a year.
It did. It seemed like a year, but what I was going to say is...
Mine was only like 5 days, and it sucked.
There was a point where I was trying to remember when I had last showered and couldn't.
Damn.
The grease from my hair, my eyes were like burning, red bloodshot, because my hair was...
the Corona's hurting my eyes, right?
Because my hair was so greasy, and then I was like, dude, I should go take a shower.
You're like, Corona makes you stink.
I think I got it in my pits and next to my balls.
You're like, why are my fingers turning orange? And why do they taste like cheese?
Dude, if I would have had, those cheese puff balls that your wife for some reason buys thousands of?
Yeah.
It's like a gallon jug of those. If I would have had those when I was in quarantine, I would probably have just...
I think we're down to our last one now.
I would have purposely failed my next test so I could stay in quarantine.
That was months ago that we gave y'all some. They
were gone that night.
My son had to open up a new one. I think today is the last one.
Dude, I finished those cheese balls off that night.
That's ridiculous.
I remember, I always felt like a fat ass because your wife is so thin. And she's like, hey, she handed them to me. And I was like, I was so ashamed.
Yeah.
But I wanted them. So, and it's like, I don't need to impress her. You're married to her. But I remember, like, your skinny wife with hip bones pointing out like fucking antlers off a deer handed me this 2-gallon huge jug of cheese puffs. And I was just taking them just with nothing but shame, but I still ate them.
Yeah.
It's like that thing I told you about, that French dish where they torture a bird and then eat it or something. Something weird. They drown it in cognac and then eat it. And supposedly, it's like some delicacy, right, in France? Mm-hmm. But they wear like a veil over their face because it's like, it's so shameful what they're doing. Anyway, that was me eating those cheese balls. I just wear a veil over my face.
We've had those a lot longer than I thought. Back in March, during our first Corona trip.
Dude, right? That's crazy.
We were...
that is crazy.
We had those with us then. We took a couple barrels of them or whatever.
If you're listening to this, we joked about it several times before.
I think we've already told them that I'm going to Florida.
No, we haven't. Dwight went on a long RV trip, making many stops throughout the states during the early parts of the lockdown. Now...
There's a 5-state...
driving tour. Yeah, with snotty-nosed kids and just whatever.
Snotty-nosed.
But all kids are. But now, the co-host, Dwight, is planning another trip far away to other states.
Florida.
Like, is it
one of the well-known, Corona...
It's like the hot spot. Texas and Florida, y'all gonna mix. Yeah. You're gonna get some of theirs, they're gonna get some of ours.
Yeah.
You can make a super Corona. Corona Light. I guess Corona Light's what we have. I couldn't think of...
Corona Extra? Right?
There you go.
Isn't that what it is?
It's gonna be Dos Equis this time.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 X's over everybody's eyes after they see you. Oh,
okay.
Shit.
Anyways. Any more?
No.
No?
Got any more shit about killing kids?
Yeah, kids and Corona.
No, this has been...
We were talking about going to New York, but...
Dude, I want to go.
Some guy was saying something about
Can you
how
fit
like
me in your
a
overhead?
bunch of rich, like the really rich people have moved out of New York.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, don't go to. I've heard New York is like.
It's starting to go fucking down.
It's like just people getting murdered in the streets. You call the cops and they're like, "Fuck it."
All this rioting that's going on, and then all the rich people have left. The funding isn't going on.
They say New York is going back to like it was in the 70s.
Like all the rich
When it was,
people
like, Fair
are
City.
leaving, so it's like there's not a lot of I was like, damn it, we should have went like a month ago.
But it might be awesome to go now.
Cheaper?
No,
right?
well, it's cheaper, yeah, but just to see, like, don't you want to see?
I'm gonna let the kids do the first 6 months of this combat training at school, so they'll be able to protect us.
As soon as your daughter is like at a Laura Croft level, then you can go. She's wearing a wife beater and a braid.
Yeah.
But
My little mini Secret Service that walks with me. Right?
I feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea. Because my kid, you know, like I said, he does martial arts stuff. I teach him boxing and stuff. It wouldn't be a bad idea to teach your kids, like, really hardcore how to defend themselves. And then it's almost like having, like, a mean dog. You know? You're walking down the street with him, somebody gives you gives you a little lip. You just turn your kid on it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. My son, I don't think he has... He's a pretty, like, hefty kid, but I don't think he has enough power in his punches quite yet to use them as a weapon. But once he goes through...
Maybe, like, pick him up and swing him at him. Right?
Well, I'm thinking, though...
You're swinging him like a bat, right,
Once
at
he
him.
once
and
he
as you're, like, swinging him, he's got his
throwing
fist.
punches, yeah.
He's got
it's
his
extra
fist.
momentum. But I was thinking that once he does, like, 2 tours in kindergarten, he should be...
2 tours.
He should be pretty fucking...
Oh,
pretty
shit.
fucking tough.
Yeah, they're on a plane coming back.
That
Right?
was a long way to go to get to 2 tours in kindergarten. But it was pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways.
Watch this next week, we're on here all sad, and I'm like, it was a shooting at the school.
This is episode 138, right?
Right.
I always forget. Okay, so please go like, subscribe, find us on Facebook, sometimes YouTube. Rate and review us, please, on iTunes. I mean, anywhere you find it. But
Yeah,
it's
if
normally
you're listening
iTunes
to this,
lists.
please just go leave a review and a 5-star ranking on iTunes. It helps out. It helps us out, and it doesn't cost you anything.
And if you want one of those wristbands, email us at thebadvibe@gmail.com.
Yeah, Bad Vibe wristband.
We will mail it to you for free.
Yeah, we'll mail it to you for free. Maybe even leave you a cool little note in there with it. And you can help, you can wear it and somebody's like, hey, where'd you get that? And you're like, oh, listen to these guys talk about dead kids,
Yeah.
Everybody loves them. Who doesn't love kids?
Yeah, you can go give it to someone at a school.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
My son has one. If it's
Tell them to
wrestler
listen.
finger.
Tell them to listen to episode 138.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good,
Yeah.
like, back to school special. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
back to school
It's like we dropped our kids off at school for the first time today, and then we talked about what was on our minds.
So this is episode 138. If you're listening to this, as always, you are the Bad Vibe.